You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second. Come on, that.
My love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stressed the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. Revenge was the woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, make them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the hawk. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I came to do damage, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real chicken on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear. This shit light work. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain frame. Shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never break the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. And I with that hollow son, yeah, this the rim court. Feel like Gunna Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. When I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call it Hell Run. Fuck it, gang, I'm out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see you lucked week. Get the cooking on this beat, hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some, get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow Air Ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest, I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking, now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all steppin', kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to boss shit.
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Baratam, Yahweh Shema Alatan, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. We are ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. That's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and we've been going throughout the earth. We were started in 1969, 1 West Harlem, New York, and we've been going throughout the earth under Commanding General Yohana teaching the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth of the Bible, a real simple truth of the Bible. And the simple truth of the Bible is this: that the so-called black, Native Americans, Hispanics are in fact the lost children of Israel. The lost children of Israel, the same Israel that you find in the Bible, in the Exodus, what the Christians call story. It's not a story, it's our history. It's our history. We are those same people who Moses told Pharaoh, "Let my people go." And because you are those people, so-called black men, so-called Latino, so-called Native American, because you are those people, you are special to the Most High. And you are currently suffering in a hell designed just for you. You're currently suffering in a hell designed just for you. So you are the Israelite. That's one truth of the Bible that we teach. You are the real Israelites. And those Jewish people over there in our land are fakes. The second truth is your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. The devil is not some half human, half goat, red individual with horns growing out of his head. The devil is your oppressor. What we do here is we teach you your language, the LaShawan Qadash, and it means holy tongue. You got that? It means holy tongue. Qadash is holy. LaShawan is tongue. The holy tongue. And I do want to share something with you since we're talking about the Holy Tongue. I know you guys been in the Christian church before y'all came in here, and particularly if Christians are watching. They talk about tongues in the Bible, and your Christian pastor had let you turn that into some type of show. He's taught you to turn that into a show. Tongues in the Bible simply means languages. I'm going to show you that. Though I speak with the tongues of angels and of men, and have not love, he said, I'm nothing. That means the languages, okay? It means the languages. Let's go to Acts 2. I'm going to go right there before we get started. Listen to this. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. That means they was, like we say, one West, meaning we vibe the same way. That's what they was doing. They was vibing the same way. They were vibing the same way. It was all on one accord. They had the same thoughts. It was like a group of people with one thought. We keep on going. Verse 2, and suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting, and there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon them, and they were all filled with the Holy Spirit, and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. They say there appeared cloven tongues of fire, like little flickers of flame, Cloven, they tell you that was probably 3, right? This is what they saw. That's one use of the tongue in the Philippians. And then it said they began to speak with other tongues, meaning they began to speak in other languages as the Spirit gave utterance. So when you look that up, you'll find out that means they began to speak in languages they had not known before. Now, when this was noised abroad, or when folks had heard it, start telling everybody in the town, everybody in the city, hey man, there's some cats up here doing some crazy things. The multitude came. That means the crowd showed up. You remember in high school, if a fight started, it might be just 3 or 4 people standing around. But as the argument got more and more intense, right, you look up, it could be 100 people, 200 kids standing around getting ready to watch 2 clowns fight, right? That's the multitude. Somebody went out saying, hey, come look at this. And so the crowd showed up. So now when it was noised abroad, the multitude came together. I mean, they came to where it was happening and were confounded. They were confused. They didn't know what to think, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. There you go, right there. The Bible connects tongues to language right there. So you crazy, crazy, crazy Christian, look at here. All that gooba, gotta get a Hyundai and all that, stop it. Stop it. That's just a bunch of gibberish. If that's a tongue, it's an unknown tongue, because you can't get anybody to interpret it. You can't even repeat it yourself 2 times in a row. If we recorded you talking all that goobly gop, falling down in the floor, and then tell you, okay, what did you just say? Repeat it back in the same language. You couldn't do it. Why is that important? Because if I say buenos dias to you, guess what? And you ask me what I'll say good day, right? And you'll say, well, do it again. Buenos dias, I can do it. If I say shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatah to one of my brothers, and another brother come up, I'm going to say shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatah, right? I'm going to give them both the blessings because I can repeat it. You can't repeat that garbage that you be talking in those services. So, got that out of the way. You know I had to rag on the Christian church a little bit. Now, if I really need to go into it deep, somebody put something in the chat room. If you want to hear some more about that, we can go on this. This is a language class, but these are language scriptures. Shemaiah. Make sure y'all share the class, like, subscribe, do all that, right? It helps the algorithm. The more people we get this truth out to, the faster we get it out to them, the sooner we can look for Yahweh Shah to come back with them 200 million angels, and we can get the chopping some heads off out there and find our heaven. What you're looking at, I know you're not used to seeing this in our class, but we told you last week within the next 3 weeks we would start doing something a little bit different, and that's presenting to you what's called the Assyrian script. The Assyrian script. Okay, we're going to start presenting that each week, get you a chance to start looking at it, figuring out how to read it. It's not much different when you talk about how to read it than any language on the face of the earth. You learn what the alphabets look like, you practice those, you learn how they fit together, and you practice that, and soon you'll be forming words. So what are these characters? Okay. Now, once we erase this, we are going to go back and put the ancient Hebrew up there. We're going to put the ancient Hebrew up there for those who haven't written this down. And we treat this when we teaching it in the same way that we do the ancient, okay, the Paleo Hebrew, okay, the original Hebrew. We do it the same way, okay? If we tell you this is the name of a character, that's not only the name, but it's also the primary sound that character makes. And when we use this script, we use it the same way we do the Paleo. You still have your connectors in there. So here we go. This is Na. If you see, we still write right to left. We still do that. We still write right to left. We don't write left to right. I don't know where that came from. And it got me kind of mixed up. You know, I'm originally left-handed, and I know you see me writing on this board right-handed. That's because of something that happened as a little kid. You know, I saw all the other kids writing left-handed, and that's just, right-handed. And that shows you how tough Hebrews can be, how agile Hebrews can be. I just put the pen in my other hand and started writing the pencil, and it came out to be something. So, Shalom. Yahweh Shema Shabbatah, everyone. Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za. This is your Kha, Ta, Ya, and Ka. All right? Make that up a little higher. And this is the La, Ma, Na, I, Na, Sa. My bad. To make this a little more square. And that's strange that can happen. That I look at that, I'm thinking Paleo, and so I automatically call it an I because it's somewhat circle-like. But this is not an I, this is a Sa. This is an I. This is Pa. This is Taza or Taza. This is a Kwa. Ra. This is a Sha. That's probably one of the that's most recognizable, you see, because it's not too different from the Sha in the Paleo. And of course, the last one in the Syrian is the Tha. Let's take a look at some things here. The Tha and the Ta. You see that? It's hard to get them mixed up. The Kha and the Ka. Hard to get them mixed up. Well, you can get them mixed up in the Paleo. All right? Everybody write that down. Give you about 30 seconds to write that down. See if we can see everything. All right. Got any questions at this time? Drop them in the chat. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. It can be about scripture in general, it can be about our language. That's pretty much, the question is pretty much up to you, what you want to do. Again, when I'm teaching, I primarily teach using the Paleo Hebrew. Everybody got that down? If you got that down, if you grew copying that down, give me a 1 in the chat, please. If you finish copying that down, give me a 1 in the chat. While this don't, you know, I did a little time over in Korea, and while this don't remind me nothing of the Korean language, because it's written all funny, right? It's definitely something different. I think you gotta have a degree just to write. These letters are more drawn, because they thick in some places, thin in some places. We don't get it completely like that. When we're writing, we're just simply writing. We're simply writing. And this is kind of a hybrid between the written and the printed. You know, the printed is what's more, all this big stuff in it. The written, all this would be more like this. Nothing fat, you know what I'm saying, nothing like that. Just written out. Same here. So, okay, I'm gonna trust y'all got that written down. And we're gonna erase it, and we're gonna talk to you about these connectors. All right? So we've officially begun using the Assyrian in the Detroit class. We'll make sure, and it's time for another brother to pick up this class, that he learns that as well. Now let's get to the Paleo. To the Paleo, this is what you'll be reading. If you be reading from the scrolls that we have, you will be reading the Paleo. You see how much easier this is to write. You see that? Much easier. You're just writing. There's that ta, that I want you later on to get mixed up with the tha, all right? You'll see the difference. All right, there we go. Here you go. Remember I said this is actually an I. That's why I said you can get it mixed up with the other one. There's the tha. This is the ta. This is the tha. Notice the difference. I have the I around it. The tha does not. And here we go. Same difference. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. This is the kha. This is the ya. And this is the ka. All right, what's important too here, if you notice the way the English letters we use, if you ever have to spell a Hebrew word out, a word out from the LaShawan Qadash using English letters, note how we write this under here. Remember, this is the sound it makes. This one here, that CHH, that's ha. You see, because if you had this, let me show you something. This, which would be, I'm writing backwards like a mug. Excuse me. You had this here, here, as opposed to this. Okay. Can y'all see that? Yeah, I think y'all can see that. Which we know is ka. They would not be pronounced the same. This is ka, and even without the guttural, people will say ka. This is not ka. This is ka-ah. You see that? So that would be the difference there. This is ka with the ka. You see that? With the ka. That's ka right there. This is ka. You see? All right. Aba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, kha, ta, ya, ka. Watch this. La, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, qua, ra, and sha. You see that? And the last one, of course, is tha. All right? Y'all got that? Trish, y'all got that. This is what we'll be working in. This is what we'll be spelling in. This is what we'll be writing in. This is the Paleo LaShawan Qadash. Okay? The Paleo LaShawan Qadash. All right. So we finna get started. Oh snap! I use what's left. Here's the thing I wanted to point out real quick. So lock it. This right here, this little fella right here. That's called a connector. What this does, it changes the sound. Okay, it changes the sound of the second character. Okay, this is a na, and we know that the primary sound of na is na, and this is a sha, primary sound being sha. So if these connectors are not here, watch this. This is what we get. La, sha, wa, na. Wa, that's a wa. Sha, this is a la. Sha, wa, and na. That's what that would be. Okay? But as soon as we put the connector there, no connector here, so you still say la, sha. Now the sound of the na changes to if I could. To as in can, as in run. You see what I'm saying? As in turn. The wa stays the same, right? So it'd be wa, or la sha, wan, wa, or wan. You see that? That would actually be pronounced wan, as in the Korean won. 500 won equal $1 when I was over there. One. Same here. This would be qua, da, sha, right? Unless you connect these two, then this becomes sh, as in fish. This da stays the same, so it's dash, qua, dash. You see that? That's what your connector do. It changes the sound and it softens the sound, I like to say, of the second character. Of the second character. You do understand, right? All right. LaShawan Qadash. All right, let's erase this and let's get started. Y'all know how we're going to do this. Y'all know how we do. For those who are new, we get you to participate, to write with your hands. Why? We find that it helps the learning, it helps the retention, okay? Okay. What you're going to do is you're translating it into English. You're translating it into English. And we'll see what you remember, because I'm finna twist it up. My bad. I'm reading crazy. All right, let's translate this. Okay, let's translate this. All right? Let's translate this. And what I'm going to take off. I'm going to leave it like that. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it like that. Ayah, not ayah. Not ayan, but ayah. Okay? What do I write? What did I write? Give it to me in English. Close caps in this. I don't want it in the French. I don't want it in the Hebrew. I want you to translate this directly to English. And give it to me in general terms. Okay? It doesn't have to be technically correct. It doesn't have to be technically correct. But what am I saying that it makes sense in English? That's what it needs to do. It needs to make sense in English. What do we got? I know y'all got something for me. This is not that hard. Okay. I like this having best because it is saying peace, but it's really more saying hello. It's a way of saying hello. Okay. You work with Janita? It's a way of saying hello. This is literally the translation to the second line. Shalomka, ma shalomka. How is your peace? But what would you say in English? Would you ask somebody, you use English to say, how is your peace? No, you wouldn't. What would you say? What would you ask them? If you're trying to discover this area about what's going on with it, what would you say? Give it to me in straight English. You can give it to me in ghettoese if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Ghettoese like this. We already said this. This is shalom. It literally means peace, right? But it also means hello See that? In ghettoese, it would be like yo or what's up. You know how you pass by somebody and you throw their head up back a little bit, you know, like yo, what up? You know. And we don't put our S's on there a lot of times. So if you what up, you know what I'm saying. So that's peace, hello, what up? That's the more complete answer I'm looking for. So what would this be? Mashallah. What would that be? Translated for into the English. Translated for me into the English. How is your peace is absolutely technically correct. But we want to normalize the conversation. That's why I threw ayat Qadash in the Qadash. See that? That's why I threw that in there. I think that's what I want to put in there. And that should be Salaki. That should be Anya. My bus. That is Anya. Matter of fact, let's make it more to the hood. There you go. Now, you translate that one direct, and you straight in the hood with it. All right? I made that one easy. You straight in the hood with it. All right. I don't understand what you're saying, Mike Oliver. What you saying? No. What we're doing is translating this into English. Not so technical, but translated. And if things be a little bit difficult right now, if you haven't had this Hebrew language before, if you haven't been studying the LaShawan Qadash, it may be a little advanced for you. We're not going to hold you up too long for time's sake. We already said it's all right to translate this. It's actually say shalom. That's the Hebrew. Shalom. It's actually saying hello. Technically, peace. Technically, peace. But it's a way to say hello. Okay. Ma shalomka. Technically, it's saying, how's your peace? How do we know? Because we got that ka on the end. And now the ya. You see what I'm saying? Well, we'll show you that shortly. Okay? So, how's your peace? Or how you doing? How you doing? What up? What's going on with you? Any of that. You're just inquiring about them. Mashallah, how's your peace? How you doing? Anya, Tawab, I'm good. I'm good. That's the literal translation right there. I am good. Literal translation. Okay? Shalom. Again, we customarily, when we greet a brother, we'll say shalom, saying hello, and we immediately bless that brother or sister. Shalom, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, Barakatam, if it's more than one brother, and Shalom, Yahweh Shema Alatha or Alatan, Bahasham Yahweh Shai to the sisters. Just simply a blessing, and then we might say, Mashalom. Mashalom. You see that? That would be totally appropriate to use it in that way. Okay, y'all got that? I hope so. Now, I'm gonna do this. Because I want to bring something out too. Shalom Yah Tawah. My peace is good. See this right here? As opposed to see that? This is a Yah, and this is a Ka. Okay? Shalom Yah, my peace. Shalom Ka, your peace. Okay, show you another one. Ma. This can be what or how. See that? So we say ma, and we go this, and this is the same one. Ma Shamka. Sham is name. You hear us say Bahasham. That's in the name of. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. In the name of Yahweh Shai. You see that? Bahasham. Sham is name. Ma Shamka. What? Sham, name, Ka, your. You see that? What's your name? Okay? Now watch this. If I respond, Shamya, Mashah, my name is Mashah. See that? I don't necessarily have to put the word for my or say the word for my. I just say Shamya. Why? Because the Ya denotes I'm referring to me in the first person singular. See that? I'm referring to me in the, so Sham is name, my, Sham Ya, name my Mashah. Name my Mashah. You see that? Now, what do we say? Ma Shamka, name your what? You see? Or what name you? What name you? You see that? So remember that Ka at the end like that is you. A Ya at the end is me, my, me or my, okay? Name my Mashah. See that? Name my Mashah. My name is Michelle. Name you what? Or what name you? That's the question. What's your name? Y'all got that? Everybody understand? Salakia, Israel. All right. Just want you to get them greetings. Make sure you could be able to complete the salutation. Ma shalomka. How are you? Or how is your peace? Shalom ya. Wow, my peace is good or I'm okay. Anya is my or I. Anya, referring back to me. Anya to what? I'm good. Anya malak. I am malak. Anya. Anya Masha. I am Masha. See that? Okay, so we got that out the way. All right, get your pen out. Okay. This is going to be coming up this year, not too long from now. You're going to see it all over the internet. It's coming up in October, after the memorial blowing of the trumpets. Okay. It's called Yawam Ka Pawor. All right. Yawam, got that? Ka War. See that? Yawam Ka Pa War. Yawam Ka Pa War. Yawam Pa Pa War. Yawam Ka Pa War. This is the Day of Atonement. Got that? Start putting that in your vocabulary. Start putting it in your vocabulary. Here's another word I want to give to you. Chagad. Okay? Oh, that's interesting. See that? This is the Chagad, right? But remember, now we got two gods. It's not Kagaga, it's Kagad, because they're connected. The second God is pronounced good. God. See that? You got that? And that is celebrate. See that? Celebrate. That's what we're going to do in October. We're going to celebrate Kagag. See that? Kagag. Yawam Ka Pawor. Chagag Yawam Ka Pawor. We're going to celebrate the Day of Atonement. That's what we're going to do. We're going to celebrate the Day of Atonement. Get that together right there. Qadash, Yawam Ka Pawor. Yawam Ka Pawor. Yawam Ka Pawor. Yawam Ka Pawor. Say it a million times. Yawam Ka Pawor. Yawam Ka Pawor. Kagad Yawam Ka Pawor. Yawam Ka Pawor. Kagad Yawam Ka Pawor. Celebrate the Day of Atonement. Right? We need to do that. Just as the Most High told us to do. It's coming up. It's coming up. And we need to do that. Okay? Y'all with me? Now, Yawam is day. Yawam is day by itself. Ka Pawor is atonement. Ka Pawor is atonement. Yawam. Ka Pawor is atonement, and Yawam is day, meaning day of atonement. Yawam Ka Pawor. Salakia, somebody come to you and say, Salakia, Baba Kashah, they're asking permission to ask something, okay? They're asking permission to ask something. Sha'al. Sha'al. You can say ask. Go ahead, ask. Sha'al. All right. Yawam. Start building up your vocabulary. Chagag. 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 Celebrate Yawam Kappa War. Celebrate the Day of Atonement. Baba Kashah, if I may, you can reply with Sha'al. Sha'al. That simply means to ask, or go ahead and ask. See that? We understand the way Black folks communicate. Latinos and Native Americans, we communicate totally different. The Bible is proof of that. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Until they start studying the language that we speak today, most of our oppressors really couldn't understand what we were saying until we started revealing to them. In fact, they told us our speaking was unprofessional. We couldn't talk like that in the workplace. You couldn't go to the workplace and say, yo, what up? What's up? You couldn't do that. Good morning, Peter. That's how you have to go to work. You have to speak their language, their way. You see that? You have to speak their language, their way. But I'm going to show you here in the Bible that we do have a way of speaking. one word in here. We're going to go to Isaiah 1, verse 3. Listen to this. The ox knoweth his master, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. I'm talking about the way we speak. The way we speak. Ask any theologian coming straight out of school to explain the scripture. And they explain it the way you can find it explained, I'm going to say in the classic Matthew Henry commentaries, the Interpreter's Bible, all of that. These are the books they use in their school, right? I don't believe you're going to find this saying that the ass know where his house is, where his master's house is. I do believe they're going to have some highfalutin way of explaining. You see that? But it's just simple a house. Everybody in the hood know a crib. If I'm going to the crib, I'm going to the house. I'm going to my home. You see that? I'm going to my home. Genesis say now the serpent, referring to the serpent in the garden. So he was slicker than all the other beasts of the field. First of all, this is a damn metaphor. See that? Again, talking about the way we speak your language. And if you're Christian out there, man, you need to quit listening to the preacher and listen to the ISUPK. Don't listen to anybody else when it comes to the Bible. Y'all hear me now? Don't listen to anybody else on the face of the earth about the Bible except for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Everybody else gets it wrong. Everybody else gets it wrong. I'm letting you know. Everybody else gets it wrong. What's a serpent? A serpent is a snake. A mother could tell her child, you watch out for that old snake in the grass right there. And that child gonna immediately understand that we're talking about, the parent is talking about a person, for lack of a better word, who's slick, who's tricky, conniving. That's what we're talking about, okay? That's what a serpent is. That's what the snake is. A person that's full of trickery. Okay? All right, we'll leave the scriptures alone for a minute. And in Isaiah 1 and 3, crib refers to the master's house. That's what the master did. Even though in the whole scripture saying, even though these two dumb animals know their master and know where they live, Israel, us, so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American, we don't know. We don't know that we are the prince of the power and the daughters of Zion. We don't know that. We don't know that. Even though a dumb animal, a beast of burden, he got sense enough to know what side his bread is buttered on. He got sense enough to know where to go get his food from, how to go home. But the scriptures say, my people doth not consider, Israel doth not know. It said Israel don't know. And they won't even consider what the prophet, the priest, and the prophet of the Most High are putting out here. We are opening up these scriptures to you every day. And you still practice Christianity. You still practice Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, and all types of stupid ass religions on the face of the earth. You just practicing, all right? So let's get out of there. Let's get out of that. All right, like I say, to ask, let's give you some more vocab. Ask, and I'm not even using English letters anymore. It's going to be sha'ah. La, sha'ah. Ask. That's what that means. That's what that means. Okay? That's what that means. Let's make sure you got this one down. Yawam. Day. Yawam. See that? Kapawar. Kapawar. That's atonement. See that? That's atonement. Kapawar is atonement. Remember, this is the paleo right here. Don't get it mixed up with the Assyrian. Okay. This is just to get your vocabulary built up now. This is just to get your vocabulary built up. But like I say, we're getting ready to what we say, Chagag. No, wrong one. Chagag, we're getting ready to celebrate in a couple of months. Yawam Kapawar. We're getting ready to Chagag Yawam Kapawar. You see that? Getting ready to celebrate the Day of Atonement. You know that's going to be in October, right? I believe it's October 4th. Put that on your calendar. And get ready to afflict your soul. And you know we all need to do that. We all need to do that. We try every day to be perfect. But when you don't, we disobey. This is a way to let us know how important it is to be perfect, even as our Father in heaven is perfect. There's a Chagag Yawam Kapawar. You got that? Chagag Yawam Kapawar. That's the Day of Atonement. That's why we celebrate the Day of Atonement. Okay. All right. I want to contrast some words. Y'all got that? We're going to erase it here in a second now. We are going to erase this in just a few seconds. Okay. Every word you know in Hebrew, you should be able to write it in the Hebrew script. Like my name is Mashah. I know how to say Mashah, which is a Hebrew name. I should be able to write it in the Hebrew script. That's one of the things I want you guys to practice is writing in the Hebrew script. Get your vocabulary together, because you know what? If you get your vocabulary together and you just take your time, you'll be able to what? Translate for your own self some of the the scroll that is being read in the Hebrew. Here's one for you. Kazaya. Okay? Watch this. Add this. Don't add it to your diet. Kazaya. See that? You know what that is? Something you should never put in your mouth. Pig or swine. Kazaya. You got that? So what you got for vocabulary words today? Sha'al, meaning to ask. Yawam, which is day. Tawab, Yawam, good day, or Yawam, Tawab, good day. You see that? And then you got Kapawar, atonement. You got Chagag, celebrate. Then you got Kazayar. That's that disgusting pig or that swine. You see that? That's that disgusting pig or that swine. Make sure y'all got those written down. Any questions? I'm watching that chat room. All right. All right. Let's see if we can form a sentence. Anya Ahab Kala. Anya is I. Ahab is love, and Kala is milk. Try it sometime. Somebody said, "What do you would like to drink?" Say Kala. See what happens. Or say it just because you can. Okay. Say it because you can. Or you can say, Mayam. Put it in your vocabulary. Mayam. This is water. I love to drink water. Mayam is water. Put it over here on the side so you can see it. All right? is water. So if you want to start a statement off using I, it's anya. Make this clear. The connectors between the I and the na, anya. Ahab is love, ahab. Mayam, I love water. Or kalab, I love milk. Write it down, put them in your vocabulary. It's all right if you want to get you a tablet, you can get your tablet and do it in alphabetical order. All right? And do it in alphabetical, that way. But you want to practice this. I tell you, got one student just impressed me. The sisters in Detroit, they impressed me with their study of the Hebrew too. You will learn it up here. Let me show you. It's real simple. Let's go here first. Kwa to wa. This is morning. This is good. Make sure they're in there. Kwa to wa is to say good morning. See somebody, you say shalom, Kwa to wa. See that? Shalom, Kwa to wa. Or you can say shalom, Yahweh Bashem HaShem Kwa to wa. That's what we want to get used to doing, is putting more Hebrew words together in normal everyday conversation. Understand the blessing is a great start, but you got to say something beyond the blessing. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, Kwa to wa. Good morning. Hello. Give them the blessing. And then just simply say, good morning. And what do you say? Ma shawat, ma shalom ka. Good morning, ma shalom ka. Kwa to wa, ma shalom ka. Now that's almost a paragraph. Shalom. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Kwa to wa, ma shalom ka. When you do it enough, there's no hesitation. And it's gonna sound to other people like, what the hell is he talking about? What the hell is she saying? Because y'all know when that's why we speak the blessing so fast. We love to speak. We speak the blessing so fast. We turned into a shortcut. I remember when I first came here into the truth, the brothers used to laugh, and I didn't understand what they were laughing about. Somebody said Shimbrikata. Because the blessing is Shalom, Yahweh Bashem HaShabbat Barakatah. Somebody say Shem Barakatah. That was the, and the brothers understood it, and what they were laughing at is that how we, as a people, when we become familiar with a word, a certain kind of word, even in English, we do the same thing. We chop it up with our own flavor. It's not a bad thing. We chop it up with our own flavor. Shem Barakatah. Which is Shalom, Yahweh Bashem HaShabbat Barakatah. You see what I'm saying? I haven't come up with a shortcut that fits my pattern of speaking, so it's pretty tough for me. I just say it the way I read it. So what do we say? We say Shalom, hello, Yahweh Bashem HaShabbat Barakatah, blessing a brother. How do we know? Shalom, Yahweh Bashem HaShabbat Barakatah. Atah is brother. Showing you that that's a brother. See that? or Yahweh Shema Alatham, Alatha. That's a sister. Rakatha, Alatha, that's singular. You see that? That's singular. Atha is singular. Female or female, depending on the words before it. In ISUPK, you hear Shema Alatha, you know we're talking about the sisters. Talking to a sister. You see? And that, believe it or not, that's not even a grammar rule. That's what we do. We bless the brothers by saying Shalom, Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barak Atha. And we bless the sisters by saying Shalom, Yahweh Shema Alatha. You see that? Shema Alatha. And that's how we bless them. And then we go on to say Barakwa Tawa Ma Shalom. See that? Ma Shalom. Not to be confused with Ma Shamka. What's your name? Ma Shamka, that's what's your name. Ma Shalomka is how's your peace or how you doing. You see that? Let's not get those confused. So we're going to do it one more time, but from the top, Shalom. Say it with me. Shalom. Yahweh Ba Hashem, Shema Alatha Ba Hashem Yahweh Shah, Barakwa Tawab, Ma Shalomka. See that? Ma Shalomka. So there you go. We're giving you a lot today. I want you to get used to the get accustomed to seeing that Assyrian. We want you to make sure you get accustomed to seeing the Assyrian script, the Syrian script, Salakia. And what we're going to do right here, because I want you to be able to read. One of the things about us going through this is so that you can read. Wouldn't it be great if one of the officers or one of the generals wrote a book, and they wrote it completely in the LaShawan Qadash, and you could pick up that book, read it, and understand it even in the English. You see that? Even in the English. So, I say thank you for showing up. We're going to be right back on schedule next week, 3 o'clock. Here we are, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. It was started in 1969, but since then, we're now under Commandant General Yohana, under Yahweh Shah, who's under Yahweh Shah, and we go throughout the earth teaching the truth of the Bible. And the truth of the Bible is super simple, real simple. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are in fact the lost children of Israel, and your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Shalom, Israel.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, sold packs. I didn't even have my heart broke.